Yeah, I think we can start. So, yesterday I had a nice experience. I thought, let me share. So, I will directly say without adding any masala to it. So, you can consider something a huge lake of whichever dimension you can imagine. It's a huge lake, and all objects come in that lake. So it reflects any object which is there. This is the first thing. So it looks so real. And the second thing to know is that if by chance you were to look in that reflection, you yourself becomes that. So you being the subject will then become the object. Okay, so this is the what I can say is the speciality of this lake. It is very magical. If by chance you get immersed in that and you feel that this is such a nice lake, you become that. So your reflection, your face or whatever, that reflection also becomes part of the objects what is seen in the lake. The second one. And the third one, once you become part of that, then you start identifying the objects there. So when the objects are identified, you then automatically start through vasana to possess or to reject. So the raga and dvesha will automatically follow. It did not follow initially because there was no contact. Lata is gone, so I had to wait. Ah, there she is.
Yeah, she's back.
She's back.
Sorry.
That's okay. So initially you did not get attracted to it because there was no contact, and now there is contact with the reflection, and it is so enamored that you start identifying. Okay, so this is the third one. So you then attach with lot of nama and rupa. So then those people, those beings also do the same thing. So they keep on looking at that reflection of the lake, and then they start to get enamored by that, and the attraction is so vivid that you want to be part of that lake. So then the relationships starts. So this is the third one which happens. Now the fourth one is that if by chance you were to realize this is a mirage filled lake, there is no real lake at all, and it's just a fabric of imagination, then all the objects go away without trace. Then only the subject remains, there is no object. So these are the four things what I experienced yesterday. So first, there is a huge lake, and there is nothing there except for the reflection. So I am walking and having a look at that reflection. Very soon I get attracted to that reflection and I become part of that. Then third one is I start identifying with it and being enamored by that. I don't know what to do because it's so enchanting, it's so pleasing, it's so appealing that I'm not able to let go of that lake. So to get out of that lake, the only way is to get the prajna, wisdom, that there was no lake which existed at all. It's a fabric of imagination. So if I were to do it, and not waiting for that lake to get dry, which might not get dry no matter what I do. So the only way to redeem myself from this perpetual suffering in the lake is to know what truly that lake is. It's just an illusion. So when I come out of it, then there is no longer any objects. So the subject remains a subject. Otherwise, the subject and object start to interact, and the subject itself becomes an object, which is what it is. So if we were to analyze these 4 scenarios, we can get 2 things out of it. One is that we have been in the Brahma realm of existence in the past. All beings started with that level of existence because we have something to create. So we keep on creating things which either provides satisfactory experiences or unsatisfactory experiences, and also a comforting factor either for the body or for the mind. So we have that knowledge of creation. So whether it is bird or animal or insect or whatever, including humans and devas and Brahma, they keep on creating. So we create the homes and they create the relationship, we create the technology, we create everything. So there is a creation. And we also have found out ways to sustain. So even the market sustains for some time. So the product sustains itself for some time before the new version or a new release starts to pour in. Because there is perpetual dissatisfaction in whatever we do. So the creation and the sustenance doesn't go hand in hand. So you would love to create more and more things. And there is always quest to create something better than the last time. So there is no interest at all to sustain. So nobody wants to be in sthiti, yatha sthiti, that nobody wants. Everybody wants to create. But then very soon it will get into dissolution, laya, because life is perpetual dissatisfaction. It's not satisfactory. Whether we eat or we drink or we study or we go to office or we don't go to office, we have homes or we don't have homes, we have money, we don't have money, we have car and we don't have a car or vehicle or whatever it is, we have health or no health or whatever, there is always a sense of dissatisfaction, and that lake provides this dissatisfaction. So we always are in search for new things which can again keep us enamored to that. So what I found in that lake is, if the wisdom is not there, then the being which is a subject becomes an object wherein people start trading that object because it's an object. So in that lake, everyone is traded in one way or the other, because that is how that lake is all about, because it is reflecting everything what is there, and depending upon the level of greediness of that being, it sticks to that lake and enjoys or suffers or whatever it has to do, and every moment there would be a dissatisfaction. So it cannot be pleased with what it is seeing. So 5 factors I could find it in this experience is that, number 1, there is tremendous dissatisfaction. Number 2 is this tremendous fear of losing what has been gained. And this enchanting lake seems like you can gain more and more things. So you want to possess. So there's a fear of losing what one possesses. Number 3 is that the whole of that lake creates an opinion. So there's no part of that lake where, as long as you want to go, however you want to go, in whichever that region it can be of that lake, you will never be out of opinion. So you will have that opinionation, that in my opinion, this is what it is. And opinion then creates views. And the next one, because of these opinions and views, is holding on to those opinions and views because it looks real. So let's say I am enamored by spiritual insight, and I start hating materialistic thinking. If I am a materialistic thinker, then I hate the idea of this spiritual and all that. I think it's a waste of time because of that opinion, where that means I am holding on to that kind of thing. And the last one is that it makes one crave for that satisfaction, which is always unsatisfactory. So it can be tea or coffee or food or whatever that comes in that lake, whatever it is named as, it creates a real unsatisfactory experience. So law of marginal returns is going to work, as we have studied in economics. There is something called a law of marginal returns. So that means every time you do the same thing, your returns keeps on reducing. You cannot increase the returns. So whether it is tea or coffee or breakfast or lunch or dinner, job or whatever it is, or relationship like husband, wife, children, homes, whatever it is, every day going away will give you lesser returns than what it was earlier. And that's the reason we have a depreciation value. So whether we have a car or we have a home or whatever it is, the appreciation value is not much. And especially for vehicles, there is no appreciation, there's only depreciation. So the nature way is to depreciate, but the mind way is to appreciate. So this lake, because I am enamored to it, want to correct whatever that can be done to make my stay there comfortable. But no matter what I do, the reflection is going to be the same. So I am in a useless process, or useless energy has been put to make things proper, when nothing can be made proper in that, nothing can be perfected in that lake. The only thing you can perfect is to come out of that lake. That's the only thing you can do. But you cannot change the lake or the pattern of the lake or do something about to make it much better. So whether we are on jobs or in studies or having children or no children or homes or no homes or whatever it is, the dissatisfaction is going to be there. So nobody would be happy even for a single day. No matter whatever it is, there would be something which will be biting that person, because that lake itself is filled with unhappiness. So anything that is enamored is going to create unhappiness. Anything that is unenamored, enchanting, or non-chanting, not enchanted by anything. That means when a person develops a strong dispassion, then only that lake can be dried in his mind. The lake is going to exist, that cannot be dried, but in his mind the lake doesn't exist, or her mind. And then that moment, at that very moment, you find supreme peace. So yesterday I was looking at every kind of organisms, and then that this happened while I was driving on the road. So I was watching how what I can say, enchanting is the world which doesn't exist. That means the humans who are walking are not human beings at all. They just, at the time when I look, they come, and when I don't look, they go away. They don't even exist beyond the wink of the eye. So no roads are there, and I was looking at how much time I have spent in adoring the mountains of Himalayas. Such a stupid thing I was doing. I was watching that then there is no mountain. What did I do in getting enamored by that mountain? And I was looking at the unsatisfactory experiences, because let's say if I were to go to a lake and the sun has to be there, and then the lake looks beautiful. If without the sun, it's with the clouds, it cannot. And if the bad weather, your trekking or whatever is not going to do any purpose. And when you go to a pass and you have climbed 16,000 feet or whatever that feet is, it doesn't matter, because you're so exhausted, and giving rest to your body makes you feel thrilled. But actually there's nothing except for mud and whatever is there, and some snow and ice, whatever, that is all you can see. And because of the name, what is created, it looks enchanting, seemingly that I have achieved a pass of 17,000 feet or 16,000 feet or 15,000 feet or whatever that feet, and it shows my blood sugar is good, and my heart is good, and lungs are good, and everything is good, and I was able to climb. But I'm not able to see that it's such a waste of time, because that mountain itself doesn't exist. So yesterday I was looking at quantum mechanics also, wherein at runtime, when you really want to see, then everything comes. If you don't observe, that thing doesn't come at all. So there's no existence. Only at that time, just like a software, you don't see the code, but you'll see the application running, and it's an enamored, but behind that application is the code which is running. So the code is not seen, only the application is seen, and the person gets enamored by that. Just like on a mobile, we have Android, or we have the iOS, or whatever that operating system it's going to be made of, but that operating system creates a UI, and that's what the enamored or enchantment is all about. So the code is not seen. What is seen is the attractiveness of the UI. Same thing we are doing right now. We are getting attracted by the UI. We don't see the inside. Everybody's body is filthy, but we are enamored by the outside skin. And same thing with job, and same thing with family, same thing with homes. We paint the home, keep on repainting it every now and then it looks okay. But if the plastering were to come out, then there is no home. It looks shabbily, or really worse. So you have to get it repainted. And why we don't like people throwing garbage outside? Because that is how it is. We are filthy and filled with garbage. But the rule of the game is that if you want that enamored thing to, and enchanting to work, then you have to keep it clean. So the eyes would like to see, which is like what we saw on that photograph the other day, a nice pavement and then the greenery and all of that. So gets that enchanting feel of what we are seeing. So as long as this enchantment is going to continue, there is no respite, and unsatisfactoriness is going to continue along with that. The moment you give up the enchanting attitude, the very second you're satisfied, whether there is a lot of dirt outside or no, or whatever it is, or you are in a good place or bad place or whatever it is, you know all of that place is not true. It's just a mirage, or it's just a reflection on that lake. So that's all I wanted to share. If you don't have anything to discuss, then I can take to the next one. Vijnanamaya kosha.
You have mentioned that you have visualized a lake.
Not visualized. I saw it like a lake.
Huh?
I saw it like a lake.
Saw means what?
Seeing.
It is visualization only in your mind, right?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, it is a visualization.
Okay. Just for my understanding.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah. Then you explained about that objectification of that, and then and once it is objectified, it creates impression, and you cannot do any let go, because impression is always there. Impression is not possible let go, because it is really impression there. So then you bring prajna on that. That's what I remember you said, to say there is nothing called lake. That means through knowledge you kill this impression.
Correct.
So once you kill that, whatever has come in front of you as visualization, it can be either Swapna Loka or in the real world, Jagrata Loka. Through Prajna, you can completely remove the impression. This is what your message, right?
Yes. And then I was feeling very happy about Shankaracharya's that other shloka, which says that the Jagrata Avastha is equal to Swapna Avastha.
Correct. I remember that very much. Yes. Jagrata Avastha and the Swapna Avastha, you look from that angle, no difference. Both are same. Because both are experience. One is only Manas experience, another is a little beyond that.
Correct.
But both are equally, it is illusion.
Correct.
So this impression, what you have seen now, you remember. There are so many impressions we don't remember. It is there in subconscious mind, right?
Correct.
That's the reason our behavior like that, because it's vasana based.
Correct.
And subconscious mind is only related to our this life, or it also relates to our previous life. I'm talking about the impressions coming out. See, our childhood impressions, some point in time it may come out, but we can recall Jagrata Avastha and we can remember. But previous janma, you don't remember anything. Is this the impressions are stored only of this life now, or it is also previous life?
All the lives. In fact, you will be getting many things out of past life, but you don't know it is past life.
Oh, it is also in the subconscious mind somewhere.
Yeah, so you like, I think we had gone through the 4 states of that consciousness, right? So you have an unconscious existence, then you have subconscious, then you have conscious, then there is the supreme consciousness.
Yeah, I have understood that because of the previous janma only. Today, if I like music so much, that is because of vasana from previous. That's impression. I understand that.
Yes.
My question is that if everything is remembered, or only few important?
No. Everything is remembered, but the problem is that it requires a trigger. So you have to get to a stage where you are able to remember all your lives without any trigger. See, the difference between now and then is that if your mind is out of the lake, from the enamored or the enchanted view of the lake, then you will remember all the lives. In that lake, you will only remember in bits and pieces because of the trigger. So every trigger will take you back to from wherever you have experienced that.
Yeah, so this is Anadi.
It is Anadi, yes. So there's no point in looking at how did I start my journey.
There is no point and no benefit also.
No
even
benefit.
For mind, remembering that.
Yes, but the only good news is that you can end it.
Correct. And that's the reason every janma, when it comes, we are not able to recall previous one with our normal intelligence. That is good sign, isn't it? Something gift, right? If I remember everything, then my behavior is unpredictable.
No, actually, we will be remembering in bits and pieces, but we always don't give concern towards that. Meaning the mind, the consciousness is able to bring back the past experience. That means in the past, how I was, it will throw out depending upon the situation. But then sometimes we say, I don't know how did I do this. Whether it's good or bad, we say, I strangely don't know how this all happened. And that is coming from the past life. Whichever past life.
So jnanam here means that viveka, vairagya and shat sampatti.
Yes.
So combination of all these put together is some jnanam, right?
Yes. And
Because unless I have viveka now, I don't see. I need to do something. I can take using only my intellect decisions through viveka only.
Correct.
See, I may be attracted to various philosophies, and it should say that the Viveka should say that based on my experience and past, present, and looking at others. No, you should follow this every time. Jagrata.
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
No worries. Anything, Lata, Padmashri, you have? Otherwise, shall we go to Vijnanamaya Kosha?
No, I don't have anything, Vilas. It is clear.
Okay.
It's all the illusion and all that. Yes.
Yeah, it's a very illusory. So, yesterday after seeing that, I was looking at every person whom I'm talking. It's so looking artificial.
Yeah. I think that's why people will become mad, right?
Yes. So, getting back to senses is very difficult.
Yeah, that's why they appear to be mad to others and they will think we are all mad.
Yeah, so yesterday while I was walking upstairs and enjoying this, my friend had called up. Then he wanted to talk to me about agile. So then I have to literally force myself to come out of that unenamored and get back to enamored. So he was showing me how they have he's got as an agile coach in a bank. So they have implemented Spotify. So they are calling by different names the same stream and like what we have. And then he was wanting to know how to deal with one sprint here and one sprint there and the different teams and all that. So I was able to answer to him, but the initial almost a minute, I had to struggle to get all of these unwanted things to speak. So I was able to see his body motion and I was looking it like it's not real.
Yeah, so in that state you will not be able to interact.
Yes, so it took me more than a minute to get back to this, and it was funny. So then after I got into the act, it was all okay.
Yeah. So once you slip back, then fine.
Yeah, once you are in the lake, then you are back. At least I know how to come out of the lake. That's the difference.
Yeah. So you can come out of the lake and watch whenever you want. And
Yes.
go inside the lake whenever you want.
Yeah, so now I understood yesterday that if you are in the lake, you cannot dream about liberation. That's not possible. Because the name and form, like agile and this team, that team, and here we do this, and how I should do flow chart and this one and that one and all that keeps on pulling you so much inside and inside and inside that after that you've totally forgot what you saw. So I was wanting to, after speaking, I was trying to see how much time it takes to come out. It took me a solid half an hour to come out of it. So it took
it took 1 minute for you to jump into the lake at the end.
Yes.
And it took half an hour to come out.
Yes. And I was thinking how difficult it is. Because you will never get any other thoughts except for the agile concepts thought. So this I had to literally force it, that it is a lake and there is water and that water is not real, the reflection is not real, and I am bending my neck and that is being seen, and then it went away. These agile concepts and other things went away. Then it was all right.
Yeah. But then for every look right-hand corner here, and when we are doing here, there's always the pulling is there, right? So you always have to be in the lake.
You are in the lake only. That the only.
Correct. What I'm trying to say is, when you are in this world, when you're staying in the home and you're doing many things, but in a moment people come or something needs to be done, you will have to jump into the lake.
You have to agree to the lake and do what is required in the lake, but don't get attached to the lake. That's all.
Okay.
So now the wife comes and she says something, or she's not feeling well or whatever. She's a reflection. She's not there. But you should do what you're supposed to do. That is what I was loving. I was telling my wife yesterday why we should really adore or appreciate Rama, because he was out of the lake and he went into the lake and did all that he was supposed to do, but he was unattached with the lake.
Yeah, correct.
So Yoga Vasishtha will give you that real experience. So I was telling her that everything is an illusion, and she was wanting to know how come everything is an illusion. But it is what it is. So the other philosophy, say Madhva philosophy or Ramanuja philosophy or whatever other philosophies which talks about Dvaita, is totally fabricated and untrue. Because that's not truth at all. It is far from truth. So yesterday after I seeing this, I was thanking myself that at least in this life I am able to see what is truth and what is untruth. Even though born in the most untruth family, it is something great that I was able to see the truth. I mean, being born in a Dvaita family, it is very difficult to let go of that untruth. So I was feeling so satisfied after seeing how this illusory nature works. And if you are not able to get out of it, then you have to pray God only. And one of the shloka, Vasishtha says that there is no concept of God also. There is no person called as God who is going to come and help you. And that really opened up, saying that how stupid is this human being who believes in something which doesn't even exist. And he's trying to appease gods, which is of no use. Because first of all, that doesn't exist in the way we think, and even if they existed in that way, they're also part of that lake. So they can't do anything to you because they're also enamored by their own way of doing. So if there is a Brahma there, he is also helpless. He can't do anything out of his own creation. And we are also creating whatever we want to create. So we are as helpless as Brahma. So if there were Devas who are there, and they definitely are there, even if they are compassionate to help us, they can't do anything because they are also of the same creation. So they cannot do anything. So one has to release himself or herself from bondage, not rely on somebody or do some rituals which will say that you will be redeemed. It's far from truth. It is like it's a daylight robbery, and still feel that there is no robbery at all. So yesterday when I was reading it, I was feeling that wow, this is good. At least Vasishtha had the courage to say what is spade as a spade and whatever it should be. And Rama, knowing everything, he then jumped into the lake and did exactly what he was supposed to do. So it was very good experience yesterday. So when Shashi and family were here, they were talking about this CET and engineering and all that. So I was having a real fun of life to look at how unreal and how truly it represents. So I was enjoying that talk anyway, but I was literally filled with laughter. That how much time we are spending in these unnecessary things. So shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay, before we start,
Yes.
one small quiz of the Manomaya Kosha. Let us say you get $10,000 as gift. What would you do? not rupees, dollars.
Question is, what would I do?
Yeah, you got $10,000, not rupees. It's equivalent to 7 plus lakh. And they say, please take it for the service what you have rendered. So here is a token of appreciation. So what would you do? And this question is for all the three. So that means, Padma Shri, even you have to answer.
Basically, I don't know. I don't want to think about all those things now. If I get what I will do.
No.
I don't know what I will do.
Question is right. It's not a reality.
Yeah, truthfully, when I get to answer the question after hearing all these things, because I should not imagine myself getting 7 lakhs. Just like that.
Spiritual response.
Very nice. No, let's say you get it. Now what are you going to do? Now you should not, that is separate issue. Now that you have got it, what would you do? What's your first reaction?
I think from the very beginning, money has no reaction to me. Now also I have no reaction. I got it, no reaction.
Okay. No reaction, good. What's answer from other two?
So I will think if such thing happens, I believe in that Ashtalakshmis. One of the Lakshmis is now coming to me.
Right.
Fall on her feet
Okay.
and say that, don't give me something, give me good buddhi, how to utilize that fund.
Okay, so you're going to keep the fund.
And I mentioned, I will ask God, please give me right buddhi to utilize that fund. That means I am going to utilize.
Okay.
Is it for me or for dhanam, something else is different issue.
Okay, good.
If it's a need, I may keep it. If I have no need, if I have that my giving to others is worth for me, then I may give it. And again, when I give it to others, I will think, is there a requirement of publishing the name or not? They'll say, no, we are putting all donors' name. Then I have to decide, because I should be like others. If I say one person, no, don't put my name, that means equivalent to I am greater than other people. So whatever Mahajanaha they are following, I may have to follow something similar.
Okay, excellent. Good one. Yeah, Lata.
I'm just trying to think. I'm not getting any answer. It just comes and it comes. That's it. There's nothing I feel elated about it or sad about it or nothing. I'm just trying to really see what I will feel. But I'm not able to get any feeling. It's just there. That's it.
Okay.
Actually, Vilas, when I was
No reaction.
in one company, not AVB,
But one minute. Vilas, you also answer. No, we want to listen to you also.
I'm going to do that. Let me finish what Bhatt wants to say. Let him finish.
yeah. Say, for success of every project, I used to get money, not me, teams. Once I remember in 2000, between 2000 and 2005, 6,500 rupees for this only, successful completion of project. Suddenly they gave money. I didn't know what to do. I was very happy. That day, my friend was there. I told him, this is what company has given me money. I am very happy. Immediately he said, can you give that money to me? Because I have some urgency. I said, okay, immediately. He wanted to borrow. He has taken that money till today. He forgot about it.
Okay.
Okay, then I decided, if that Lakshmi comes, give me intellect how to utilize, because I know that I should not have told him like that, as if I have extra money. I think the way I express that joy, wow, great, wonderful, my company, I told. So this is what I wanted. I'm thinking to do something good with that. Then he immediately said, give me that money.
Right. Good. Nice. Okay, now the question is what I would do. Split it into Nama and Rupa. That's all I'm going to do. So don't jump into the lake at all. Meaning, let's say really somebody gives me, okay, let's say, and there are three things in this. One is the number. The bigger the number, the more enamored or the enchanting is going to be. So don't put a number, Sankhya. That has to be stopped in the mind. Okay, number one. Number two is that let's say give a check. Let's say that check is a paper, or even the notes are paper. So in the mind, I need to have that Viveka. Now, if I bring these two things, that is number, no Sankhya, and also not having to do with that, what I can say, the notes or whatever it is, then it is easy to decide what to do with that. So even if you keep it, it's okay. You don't want to keep it, donate it is also okay. Or you want to throw it is also okay. Anything is okay, because, or if somebody steals and goes also is okay, because he has taken only the paper. There's nothing else he has done. So his karma has one blot of that stealing. Other than that, there is nothing. And if I were to get enamored by that, the Rupa, 7 lakh, Nama is the name, that is here it is in dollars. So somebody paid me $10,000 for whatever I'm doing, and that got converted into 7 lakhs. And now the problem is that I need to pay tax on that, and I don't want to pay tax on it. So I want to see, is there any other way to get the money without having to pay tax? And all of these things is going to come. So if I consider it as really what it is, it's just a paper. It's not whether I deserve to keep it or I have to give it off or whatever it is, that is secondary. What is the first thing I need to do? Cut the Nama and Rupa. That's all. Then automatically it follows. If there is no value, then it's a trash. So it doesn't really matter. If somebody taxes it and gives it to me, or somebody says that you are not sorry, we did a wrong thing, it is not for you, we missed and we gave it to you, can you give back? Okay, take it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not saying that I'm not have any reaction. No, I will definitely have an action of splitting it into Nama and Rupa. That's what.
Since when in your mind this transformation has happened?
About what? About the Nama and Rupa?
Nama and Rupa. Before that, you used to take money as money, like us. And one fine day you decided I should not do it.
No, that is
years or months or?
No, even when I left the job, or when I was wanting to quit the job, 1 year before quitting the job, I had 2 other friends, but who were my colleagues. So I don't know for what reason, I used to tell them that there's no point in putting in fixed deposits and this and that, and then struggling your life through it. So that is, I left in the year 2013 and 12 rather. So after lunch we used to go out, and these 2 guys used to rag me like crazy, because when I open up this topic on money, saying that what's the point in keeping in the bank when you're not able to use it. And one of my friend had a habit of buying gold every quarter, to saying that it's an investment, and then he has invested in a lot of property and this and that, and he has only 1 son. So I was wanting to tell him that what are you going to do with so much of money? I mean, you might be donating, that is separate issue, but why anybody should have that much of money? And another thing what I've done is, for this house, what I've built, I was the only employee in the organization who made the finance guy convert all the salary he's paying into my EMI, meaning to the bank. So I used to take a very less salary and pay maximum to the bank. And the bank used to ask me, why are you doing this? It's a 20-year housing loan. And my finance head, he was very much concerned that the way I am trying to pay off the loan as though somebody is going to kill me. And he was telling me that, why don't you take that standard deduction and all that? Okay, so in the year 2009, when they did not give me any hike because of the US slowdown and all that, and I felt it's okay, it's at least I'll fight for the team and let them get it. But then I was 2011-12 onwards, I started thinking that what's the point in keeping in reserve something when you are not going to use it? Okay. But that Nama and Rupa didn't happen then. But then I was, interested in looking at. So at one point in time, I broke some FDs and then kept it in the savings account just to prove them. And then they used to rag me, saying that you are one of the stupidest person I ever found, that instead of keeping in FD, you're going to keep it in the savings bank account. And I said, look, if the money is not going to come to your purpose right now, that means you don't require it in the first place. So if you're not withdrawing anything at all for whatever you have to use, are you getting more than what you require? There is of no use, because it is coming from here and going into the bank or whatever you are investing. But again, you are not having any money. So that means if you're getting, let us say, 2 lakh rupees and you're putting in investment of 1,70,000 and keep 30,000 in your account and then spend the 30,000, that means 2 lakh came and 2 lakh went away. And what are you going to do with that so much of cash savings or in mutual fund or whatever? So this was my starting point of that, and it has developed, and yesterday it has really developed, that much I can say. So now if I get it, I'll make it as Nama and Rupa. I don't know the earlier what I was able to do, but yesterday's experience, really I can do it. No doubts on that.
Because this is a great transformation.
Yeah, so I can...
that means the materialistic life, no value.
Yeah, no value.
Don't attach at least.
Yeah, now that I've seen that yesterday, I can 100% say I'm going to do that. So if somebody gives me, exactly that's what I'm going to do.
So if you are going to do, then you will not work for it, because money has got no value. Only you will satisfy your need, nothing beyond that.
Yeah, see, the thing is that I'm not going to attach any number to it or a value to it. There's no value except for your own value. You are valued, not the money. Not that what the number is being got. You have value. Nobody else has any value. Because your consciousness has value. Nothing else has value. So, Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya formula, if we were to apply, you are valuable. Nothing else. The body is not valuable. The mind is not valuable. The relationship are not valuable. Nothing is valuable except you, because if the consciousness were to depart, there's no value.
I just didn't understand one thing when you said you're not attaching Nama, Rupa value. But what will you do with that? It will come to your bank. So you leave it in the bank.
No, that what I would do is, there are 3 ways. Yesterday I was thinking about it. I've started thinking about it. Okay. Now, it's going to come to the bank. Now you have a family. Now there are 2 ways of dealing with it. Don't have a family and donate everything off and then leave. That one thing is the thing I can do. Or 2, give it to the family and let them do what they want to do with it, but don't get yourself involved with it. The second one. And the third one is utilize whatever you want and donate the rest. The three things what I got. So I'm still investigating based upon yesterday's experience what it leads me to. So this experience has only happened yesterday, so I can't really say that what would be prudent at this point in time. So I'm just allowing the wisdom to say what next I need to be doing. So maybe in few days or few hours or few minutes I might have that.
And after all, how much of our money you have, what you can do with it?
Nothing.
You can only do material things, right?
Nothing you can do except for material things or material gain. So the best way to do, in my opinion, I feel, is that to donate off the maximum. So not worrying about whether somebody is really fits into my categorization of whether they deserve it or not. Just give it off because it has no value. That's what is running around from yesterday evening. So let's see. At this time, Padma Shri, I have exactly no correct answer. It's already 9:24, so we are not able to move an inch on the Vijnanamaya Kosha.
Actually, I'll have to drop off exactly at 9:30. I have one call at 9:30.
Okay, then we'll do one thing.
Yeah, me too.
And then we will do one thing. Then we will end up early and meet up tomorrow. Maybe by tomorrow I have an answer to her question. So we have 6 minutes. You want to discuss something or shall we end the call?
I think we can end today.
Okay.
I have to do some preparation for the next call.
Okay. All right then. So we'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Good day and see you tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. Bye.